All right, we're doing espresso, specifically lattes. Ohayo gozaimasu. So every single morning, I make Judy a latte. Now, really, she's drinking a macchiato, really strong coffee flavor, creamy, and I would say it's as good as most cafes that you go to. One of the problems when you go to a cafe is a lot of times the people making it, they just learn how to make it or they don't care. And at the really professional ones, they definitely care and they're trained, but can be very expensive. So today I'm gonna show you how to make high quality lattes, a decent latte art at home. I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna get an espresso machine if you don't already have one. And if you have one, I'm gonna teach you all my tricks. I've been learning this for 2 years. I've been studying it, researching on YouTube, and most important, practice, practice, practice. So that's the first thing I'll say. It takes a lot of practice, but I wanna help you guys skip a few steps, skip a few mistakes, and let's get into it. First espresso machine is a Breville Barista Touch. What's nice about this, it's less than $1,000, and I'm telling you, compared to their $2,700 Oracle machine, you don't need it. This is perfectly fine if you need something more affordable. The tools, so you get this portafilter with the machine. The pros, they like to use the bottomless. That's what I'm using, but it's only because we obsess with even extraction. But I'm gonna show you, regardless if you're using this or this, how you can still get a great espresso. This is just a little doohickey that lets you collect all the coffee grinds without spilling. So I will show you that. By the way, I will put all the links to all this stuff. This is a portafilter screen. This just helps the puck, so I'm gonna put it right in there afterwards. The tamper that comes with the machine, that works perfectly fine. It just takes some practice to know the right pressure. It goes right up here. It's a nice convenient magnet. I have this Normcore one that actually has a spring that is mechanized to give you the exact pressure, and there's this little lip that keeps you from going too far in. And then this little doohickey tool. This is what you actually mix your grounds with, and then you evenly aerate it with these little pins or these needles. You get this milk steamer pitcher. There's really 3 sections here. There's espresso, because you gotta pull the espresso, and that's what's gonna be your coffee. Then you've got the steaming of the milk. I will show you exactly how to tilt the cup, the timing and all that, because that's probably arguably the hardest part. And then the third part is the latte art. Totally optional, but one good thing about doing latte art, it kind of tells you if you've steamed the milk correctly, because if you do it correctly, the art is much easier. We'll start with the espresso. I will tell you, it does matter how fresh your coffee beans are. This is Vivace from downtown Seattle. I think it's the best coffee beans, but you can use any coffee beans. The more fresh it was roasted, they even put the date when they roasted it, and this is literally a few days ago. Makes a big difference flavor-wise and quality-wise. So I use coffee that's been freshly roasted within the last week. I have a coffee subscription. Of course, that goes into the hopper up there. And now I'm gonna show you exactly how to prep your coffee puck for espresso extraction. I did forget to mention, I have a scale. A scale because you want to weigh different parts of this process. First thing I'm going to do is put my little attachment on to my portafilter, and I'm going to zero out the scale. This allows me to know exactly how much coffee is coming out of here. So I'm going to put it inside here. This is where you're going to have to change your settings, but on Latte, for my coffee grind, I have it set on 18-second grind, so that's what we're gonna do. All it's gonna do is grind. 18 seconds, as you can see, this attachment helps keep all the coffee inside the portafilter. Now, at this point, what I like to do, take this tool, and I am just making sure all the coffee is evenly ground. You want to get about 17.8 to 18 grams of coffee. Now that's 18.4. I know that's a small, tiny amount, but precision really does matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit out. It's no big deal, just toss it, okay? Because I'm trying to get to 18 at the most. Okay, 17.7, totally fine. That's hitting the mark, okay? I take my special tool, I tap it on my hand just a few times, and then I remove this, and then it's ready to tamp. Got my super fancy tamper tool. I'm just tamping it. See, it's stopping me from tamping it too hard. And you got your puck. Then you take your screen, totally optional, but I do use this, and put it in there. Now it's ready to create espresso. Now that that's done, I'm gonna get my steam milk prepared. For steam milk, what I typically do is I get whole milk first off. I pour it into my pitcher before I even start this whole process, and I put it into the fridge. A little trick I learned was to keep your milk as cold as possible by also keeping your pitcher nice and cool. I'm gonna show you two different angles. You're gonna keep your steam pitcher even like this, and you're gonna tilt it. That's it, okay? You don't tilt it forward or backwards. Let me show you a different angle. Same thing over here. I'm gonna have this poked out, but for right now, just for the visual, I'm gonna show you. You're lifting your steam pitcher up, and all you're doing is tilting that way, okay? So you don't tilt it forward, you don't tilt it back, you just go up the steam wand, just like that. This is a critical part for steaming your milk. You've got your milk in there, about, I wanna say halfway up. Go straight up. You twist it like this. That's it, okay? When you first start, you're gonna get the milk going, and you're gonna slowly let the tip of your steam wand expose out like that, so that air can be folded into the milk. You do this for 10 seconds. It should be spinning, a vortex should be created, and then after 10 seconds, you're slowly gonna put it back up, still tilted. You're gonna continue doing this until the milk temperature gets so hot that the pitcher is almost starting to burn you, or just right before, and then you're gonna stop it. So I'm gonna show you this whole process, two different angles, okay? My pitcher is even to the counter. I'm just sliding it all the way up, and then I'm tilting it just like that. And now I'm gonna turn on the manual steam function. Now you can hear the paper ripping. That's the air going into the milk for about 10 seconds. And then put it back down. So the tip of the wand is inside the milk now. You've already added the air, and all you're doing now is stretching the milk and getting the temp right. All right, it's getting really hot. Stop it. If you do this right, when you remove your milk, the milk should be stuck to the wand. Look at that, okay? All right, at this point, you're gonna lower your wand. It's gonna purge itself. While that's happening, I'm gonna get ready to extract my espresso. So same thing here, you wanna have your scale ready. I'm gonna put my latte mug underneath, zero it out. Then the function I use here is you're gonna hold down that middle button on latte until it hits manual, and then press it. I wanna extract about 36 grams of coffee or espresso, okay? Once it gets to about 34, I'm gonna hit that manual button on the touch screen. That should end right at about 30, 35, I'll take it. Still good. You can see that's really good espresso. All right, so I'm gonna remove my portafilter, and I just put this off to the side in the sink. Deal with that later. All right. This is the critical part. So the steam milk should kind of keep its integrity long enough for you to do this. But what I like to do is I dump out a little bit in the sink. There we go. I And just mix, mix, mix. And then I pour it in. And lower it. All right. So that's not as fine as I want it, but this is a really good cup of latte. Good espresso, good steamed milk will make latte art a lot better. Now I'm gonna go through this whole process one more time without having to record it the way I just did, so I can show you some good latte art. But I'll tell you, this is better than most lattes you would get even at most coffee shops. It's with a machine that costs less than $1,000, and me and Judy, we just love it, including me especially. One thing I didn't show you guys is I like to heat up my mug by putting hot water in it. There is a hot water function on this espresso machine. So I'll do that. While that's happening, I'm gonna take my Portafilter right here, get that prepped, use my attachment, start grinding. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Make sure all the coffee grounds are nice and even. I tap it on the bottom, remove this attachment, and then I'm going to tamp it with my mechanized tamper. Put my puck screen. I'm going to go ahead and just put this right here so it's ready, and now I'm gonna steam my milk. All right, so this was sitting in the fridge. It's nice and cold. Go ahead and get my steam wand out, put in the pitcher up against the steam wand, and I'm just moving it all the way up like this and then turning it. You're not going to be able to see this part. I already did show you earlier, so you can rewind, but now I'm going to go ahead and steam my milk. Then when you remove it, the milk should cling to the steam wand. Put it down and it's going to self-clean itself. My warmed up mug, zero it out. Now hold down the middle button to brew until it hits manual. Start the process. I'm going for 36. Time to make latte art. Here's my espresso. When you swirl it, look at that. It's already creamy. That's what you want. Got my milk here. I just tap it once or twice to get any air bubbles out. This time we should be able to get better art. There we go. A little better. It's a leaf. Dad, I got an extra latte for you.
Oh wow, look at that
know.
design up there.
Yeah. That's my extra one.
Oh wow. Next to Starbucks, man.
Oh, next to Starbucks. Yes. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I'm serious. Really.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do the latte art one more time because I know I can hit it. So let me show you. Another trick here is you're gonna move your pitcher side to side when doing the art like this. There you go. Much better. Not my best work, but trust me, this is a tasty cup of coffee. Using the Breville Barista Touch, the measurements, the way you extract the fresh roasted coffee beans, properly steamed milk that makes latte art, all of that put together makes for one of the most elegant sips of coffee you'll ever experience. I love my drip coffee, you know, Chemex, Hario, or even a drip machine, but when you have this, it's elevated, it's elegant. If you guys want to try it, hopefully you get one of these machines. I'll put all the links down in the description, and just give it a whirl. It takes a lot of practice, but it's totally worth it. And I'd rather have coffee at home than even go to a cafe, unless it was going to a place like Espresso Vivace in Seattle, where the baristas care as much as you would care at home. So cheers.